så slipper vi det ljudet.
Ja.
Det ljudet. Men gott, jag tar och släpper in honom nu.
Ja.
Eller?
Ja, nu står.
All right then. Welcome everybody to this webinar with Parker Hannifin, who are arranging it together with us at Promotion. Today they're going to talk a bit about themselves, Parker, and what they do, and then also quite a bit about their trainee program. So look forward to it, and I'll leave it over to you, Isabel.
Thank you, and I will start sharing here. So can you see the screen? Super, yeah. Hi everyone, and welcome to the presentation of Parker Hannifin at Traineedagen Chalmers. And I'm Isabel. I'm working as the graduate program coordinator for the EMEA region at Parker. And I joined Parker 3 years ago as a trainee myself, but in the HR discipline. And together with me today, I have Anders, who is working as the sustaining engineering manager, and he is also a former trainee, but in the engineering discipline. And he will introduce himself later on in the presentation and share a little bit about his journey as a trainee at Parker. But first, we will share a little bit about who is Parker and the overview, a little bit about the graduate program, and then last but not least, you will listen to Anders' journey as a former trainee, as said. So Parker is a world-leading company in motion and control, and we used to say that we are enabling engineering breakthroughs that leads to a better tomorrow. So you can find our products in everything that moves. And if you look at this slide, you can see our core technologies. So it's a big variation of the different areas, as you see, everything from aerospace, climate control, hydraulics, electromechanical, fluid, gas handling, filtration, sealing, shielding, process control, and pneumatics. So it's a very big variety of key markets that we have. And in Sweden, hydraulics is the bigger technology that we are working with. Here it's also a little bit of an overview about the company. So it's a global company, and we are located in 50 different countries. And as you see, we have over 57,000 employees all over the world. So a lot of colleagues and a very international global environment working at Parker, which is super fun and interesting. If we look a little bit more at the Swedish locations, you can find every location in the west part of Sweden. And to the right, you can also see an example of a product from the specific location. So in Trollhättan, we're working with hydraulics pumps and motors, and you see the picture to the right of one of those. In Skövde, we're working with the quick couplings and producing them. In Falköping, it's the hydraulics cylinders. In Borås, you can find myself and Anders working here. And here we are working with hydraulic valves and manifolds. And then to Mölnlycke, it's more the electronic controls and steering systems. We have a sales company located in Borås and also GMS, European System Engineering Center, where they try out the applications in the real machines. So even I have been in a big tractor myself once. So this is a little bit of the overview about Parker. And as you see, since we have this big variety of the key markets and products, you can find Parker everywhere in everything that moves, more or less. So now I was thinking that we will go to the next part of the presentation, which is the graduate program. And all the graduates will go into a program of 24 months. It's divided of 4 different assignments, and each assignment is 6 months each. And one of these assignments is an international assignment within Europe, and one is outside of the discipline. And this means, for example, if you are an engineering graduate, you might have one assignment in operations just to explore that part of the business, or maybe in commercial and sales to work more closely to the customer and understand that part of the business, since we think this is a very important learning to become a future leader at Parker. And as said, also one international assignment. And as a former trainee myself, I had my international assignment in a location in Germany. And it was very interesting, very useful to really explore the different cultures and to see that we are this big company, and to explore different parts of the organization as well. We have 6 different disciplines. Commercial includes sales and marketing. We also have operations, supply chain, finance, engineering, and HR. And this year we will probably looking for graduates in operations and engineering. It's not 100% confirmed yet, but that's the thought at the moment, that we will have positions in those areas. And in the program, we have one champion who is a senior leader who takes care about setting the same quality for everyone. As a graduate, you will also have one mentor that will follow you throughout the program of the 2 year. And the program coordinator is me at the moment, and I am there to support as well. Then we have a lot of different connections with the community. So it starts with the onboarding week in September, where all the graduates come together. Hopefully this will take place face-to-face this year. We have had that virtually now due to COVID, but we are looking forward to have this face-to-face in the European headquarters in Switzerland in September. And then after each 6 months assignment, we meet again in the graduates community to have different learnings and explore different themes together, and also to build the community even stronger. And that's how it's structured. So you have the assignment, you have the graduates community with the project sharing, what you've been working with, and a lot of different learnings. And then it's that structure throughout the 2 years. So what does it take? We say that we are looking for engaged people that are driven and passionate, who wants to make a difference. Also to have the entrepreneurial spirit and to challenge, and to really challenge to become better. And the curious mindset to ask questions and wanting to learn, so to say. So if you think that this sounds like you, you should apply to the graduate program if you think that it sounds interesting. So as said, we are hiring graduates in operations and engineering. And at the moment, we don't have any positions out just yet. So please add me on LinkedIn, Isabel Lundgren, and I will upload it there when we have those open as well. And now we will come to the best part, where you can listen to a real journey as a graduate at Parker. So I would leave the floor over to Anders to introduce himself a little bit more.
Yes. Thank you, Isabel. Hello, everyone. So just a short introduction about myself. My name is Anders Johansson, and I was born and raised in the countryside in Sweden, which has reflected my interest in my personal life. So on my spare time, I go really out in the nature, go out hunting and fishing. And I have an interest of agriculture and all the farming machines, as you can see an example there. At the moment, I live together with my wife. in the middle of Gothenburg, very close to Chalmers, actually. And we really like Gothenburg, so it's not a problem. The location here is in Borås, but it's good connections directly to Borås, so I don't see that as a problem. A bit of my journey. So I moved to Gothenburg in 2012 and applied for Chalmers, and I studied mechanical engineering as my bachelor. And then for my master, I studied naval architecture and ocean engineering out at Lindholmen. And in 2017, I applied for the Parker trainee program, which this time was in engineering. So one of the trainee programs that Isabel mentioned. And in this time, it was a bit different as it is now. So I only did 3 different periods, so 3 different locations, but I will talk more about that soon. After my trainee program, I got a permanent position as an R&D product manager here in Borås, which I worked between 2019 and 2020, where I was responsible for one of our big new R&D development projects. And at the moment, I'm working as a sustaining engineering manager, and I'm responsible for the engineering team here in Borås, where we develop our products to fit our customer needs. So a bit about my trainee program. So I started out in Borås in a division, and my main work assignments there was as a project manager within R&D, which were the project that I actually got a permanent position afterwards. I also worked as a production engineer to get an insight on our day-to-day production and see how we produce our products and deliver a quality sustained product to our customers. I also got a chance to work together with the strategic supply chain and got contact together with all different suppliers to learn that part as well. And so I got a very wide point of view of the Parker organization, which is really good. The next step was to move to Trollhättan in the pumper motor division. Yeah, I forgot to mention that in Borås, we're developing mobile valves, and in Trollhättan, we're producing pump and motors, as Isabel explained before. In Trollhättan, I also worked as a project manager for R&D projects, but I also got a chance to work as a simulation engineer and understand that. And I also worked a lot in our lab to test and evaluate our prototypes. After this, I moved over to England, to a place called Warwick, and I worked at one of our sales companies. And my title was application engineer. It's more technical sales, you can say. So this was really interesting, not something that I'm used to. So I worked directly to our customers and to get out to them and look at their problems and what they want us to produce. So this was really interesting for me to get another point of view, what I'm used to. Except from the day-to-day work assignments, you do a lot of different activities. For example, you can get the opportunity to go through a lot of different trainings. For me, it was mainly leadership trainings and project management, but I also got the chance to learn more about FMEA, hydraulics, product blueprinting, marketing, and also lean. But these trainings can be you can choose whatever you want there. There's a lot of different opportunities depending on what you want to learn. So it doesn't mean that you need to do exactly the same training as I did, but there's a lot of different opportunities there. I also got the chance to go and visit a lot of our customers to really see their point of view, to understand the customer need. And this I did at all locations. I also visited a lot of our suppliers to understand their point of view and their difficulties to ship quality sustained parts to our locations. And when I worked the 3 different locations, I also visited other Parker locations within the same divisions to get a wider view of the Parker organization. You will also be involved in other teams. For me, example, I've been involved in employer branding a lot, so I've been participating in a lot of work, how we should look as a company outside. We have been visiting a lot of student fairs, etc. So there's also a lot of opportunities there. So just some useful tips and guidelines from my side. I would say that one very important thing is to really build a network, travel as much as possible to and get to know people. You can never know too many people. If you get a problem in your future work, you will know that I can call this person and get some useful help from there. Another tip is to ask questions and learn. And there are no dumb questions. If you don't ask questions, you will never learn. So ask as much as possible to really learn. Another one is to widen your knowledge about the Parker organization and really try to go outside your comfort zone, not only work with the things that you feel comfortable with. Really try out new things, and this will really widen your knowledge. And if you do this, I believe that you will become a great Parker leader in the future. So that is just some useful tips from my side. And that's it for me.
Yeah.
Thank you.
So thank you, Anders. Yeah. And we will open up if you have any questions. I just want to mention one last comment that I would say that the most like the biggest benefit with the Parker graduate program is that we are the global company, but we have the flexibility in our graduate program to really design it together with the graduates. So even though we have the framework and the learning curriculum to really set the quality of each graduate's journey, we still have the flexibility, as Anders also said, that if you're interested to develop yourself in a specific area with a training, with a specific project and so on, we have the flexibility to do that and to also ourselves make wishes and see how we can link that to the needs of the organization. So with that said, we would like to open up for if you have any questions, either about Parker, about the graduate program, or directly to myself or Anders.
Of course, it's also possible to write in the chat if it's.
Yeah, we just go on in the chat actually from Arvind, who asked, is there a summer internship opportunity at Parker?
Internship, you said?
A summer internship.
Okay, we don't have that at the moment in Sweden. There might be other opportunities in other countries, but we don't have that specifically at the moment, right?
No, we don't have anything open, but if there's interest about it, please contact us or Isabel, and we can look into it and see what you want to do, and we can shoot something from that. But we don't have anything open positions at the moment.
So I can write my email in the chat, or if you would like to connect on LinkedIn, you can write the message there as well.
All right, great. I could also ask a question. So for the engineering, engineering trainee, what kinds of engineers are suitable, or is it just all kinds of engineers?
So in my team here in Borås, we have a lot of different. We have mostly design engineers which develop our products, but we also have a numerous of simulation engineers in CFD and FEM. But a big interest now is to do electrification in our products. So we have that the kind of engineers as well. Actually, we have one from the mechanical engineering emphasis master from Chalmers. So there's a wide range, and so I would say the sky is the limit. We have the need for new engineers in all different kinds of fields, not only here in Borås, but also other Swedish location, and also in other countries if you're interested in that as well.
And that is also one thing that since we have the international graduate program, even though we in Sweden will focus on the hirings for operations and engineering for this year, most probably, if you are able to relocate, you can also apply for other trainee positions, but they are based maybe in UK or in Italy or France or any other country in our region, which is EMEA, Europe, Middle East, and Africa.
All right, all right.
But
I got another.
Sorry, but now I'm only answering for my department, so that's not really fair. We also have a lot of need for on the production side and also supply chain. So it's not only engineers in the design department. So we also need, as I mentioned, I worked in strategic supply chain. We have operations, but yeah, for the trainee in engineering, it's mostly in design. But we have a lot of different opportunities. If, for example, if you study industrial economy, we have a lot of opportunities here as well. It's not only mechanical engineering. That's important too.
Yeah.
All right, all right. I got another question in the chat. In the graduate program, you told that I will be working in 4 different parts. Will you get to choose in which department you're going to focus, or is it specified by you?
I would say it's a mix. So with this, we have a training curriculum about what you should cover, in what kind of areas you should have experience. And then we match that to the needs of the business, where we can find a very interesting project for you to work with, because we want you to have real projects that is, yeah, what is happening at that time. So you have something really interesting to work with at that time. But of course, you're also able to make your choice, make a wish, and then we can see if we can find a possibility there. So for example, if you are interested in a specific field that you would like to explore more, then you would talk to your mentor about this, and we would try to fit that with the need from the company. So it's a little bit complex situation and complex answer, because it's a collaboration, I would say. But since we don't have one template fits all, we also have the flexibility to work together with the graduates to make the best journey possible. And that was the case for me, for example, as a graduate. So I got some, so for example, for one of the assignment, I could get 2 options. Then I could see which one I would like to focus on and investigate more in. So that could be one option. Or if you have the conversation with your mentor, they will try to find something in that area.
Okay, great answer. Do we have any more questions? I haven't got any more in the chat. Also, if you have a question, you're very welcome to unmute yourself and ask it yourself. Doesn't seem like that's the case though. In that case, I'd just like to thank you guys at Parker very much for this amazing webinar and for all of the great information. And for you guys who are going to have contact calls with Parker later on today, we'll see you there. And I'd also just like to remind everyone that we have another webinar at lunch today, so don't miss that either.
Super, thank you. And please feel free to connect on LinkedIn if you have any questions. And I will join some of the calls later today on the contact calls. And for the others, you will meet our talent manager for the Nordics. So see you there, and thank you for listening.
Thank you very much. Bye.
Cool. Bye-bye.
Bye.